the show. Welcome to another episode of Fully Equipped. Kris, how you doing, man? What's been going on? You been doing much, or you just been chilling like a villain?
Oh no, buddy. I very rarely am chilling anywhere. I'm always on the go, always popping around.
Okay.
Had the little California weekend with Miss Erica. I just had the swag D-Gap trip. Went out to Palm Springs, played some golf, talked about that. Came home, was home for just a couple days. And then the missus and I shot over to San Jose to hang out with her childhood best friend for the weekend. And her husband and I went and played Half Moon Bay.
Mm-hmm. How's that?
It was the wettest turf conditions I may have ever played in. Like,
sounds juicy.
the day, oh, juicy indeed. The day was perfect. It was like 60 degrees, sunny, on the coast, absolutely no wind whatsoever. And the just turf grass was so wet. It was like going up to almost my ankles in the fairways. It was nuts. But it was one of these weird, like, all of the stars aligned, the planets aligned. I shot 71.
Nice.
And was 3 under on the par 5s, which, doesn't suck. And birdied 18 coming in to shoot 3 under on the back 9. And I was really happy with how I hit the ball, considering the turf conditions were absolute garbage.
Probably would have helped you chipping.
I'm
not being a dick when I say that. I actually think wet conditions would actually help you chipping.
It could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I got up and down a few times. Yeah. I hit a ton of greens. But definitely changed the way I kind of thought my way around the golf course a little bit.
Have you still got the ping wedges in your bag?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got the S159s. I was playing the T100, T150, T200 combos that we got fit for.
You've been enjoying those a lot.
Oh,
Usually you've got your your 230
I230s,
blueprint combo set. These have been giving you mental anguish, I've noticed, in regards, because you keep going, I'm going to go back to the pings, and you just haven't yet.
I haven't yet. And you know what's funny is I've been tinkering and toying with the 3D irons, the Cobra irons in the bay, and I've been kind of regapping and bending, and they check all the boxes for me. They look awesome, they sound great, they feel great, and I'm starting to get the numbers and see like the gapping that I want to get out of them. Oh, those are going to go back in the bag. I had them reshafted.
You just got them reshafted while we were in Carlsbad as well. So.
Yep. So those now have shafts in them that I'm really comfortable with. So I'm excited to put those back in the bag. And literally, like, the turnaround from Palm Springs and then going to San Jose, I just left my travel bag packed, didn't touch it, and I meant to take those Cobra irons with me, but then I go and shoot 71, and it's like,
Honestly, man, we played a couple of weeks ago. You're hitting those T series really, really well. And this is not a plug for Titleist, but they did just release the all black version of the all T series like a week or so ago. They look great.
The all black irons. I mean, anybody that has a good looking blade that does, or a good looking club, I should say, that does the PVD or the QPQ, in any of those black finishes, I love the way they look. It just is brutal for us here in Arizona with how sandy the soil is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no such thing as a black steel, right? So they start to silver out, and then the faces start to silver out. And inevitably, when you go to the range and you get a golf ball that's just covered in sand and you star the face, like, that for me is just the most horrible visual. Because for me, inevitably, that starred pattern is a mishit that just lives out on the toe.
Yep.
And that's just.
But that's an interesting
question.
Is it a mishit, or
Yes.
is that just your hit?
No, it's a mishit.
Okay,
It's a mishit. Damn it.
Fair enough. I actually got to play 36 on the weekend, which was fun.
36.
Yeah, I got out super duper early, and then as I finished 18, I was like, I kind of want to play another 18, and they're like, go out again. So I did, and I shot 73 and 71. My game feels like it's in a really good spot right now. My irons feel really good. Still toying with driver a little bit, but I think I'm pretty set on the QI35 LS. I do have a 9-degree 440 head coming.
9-degree 440 head. Okay.
Yeah, I usually play 10.5 and then click it down, but I found that the 10.5 clicked down to a 9.5 I was still getting it way too in the air. And then as soon as I put a 9-degree head and clicked down to 8-degree, because I like to see the face open a little bit.
Sure.
That's why I like to click them down. Ball flight was just lower, and I got an extra. I think it was like 5-6 miles out of it speed wise, and so we'll see what happens. But yeah, it was really fun, and I've started gaming the TaylorMade putter, the Spider.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Spider's great.
I've never actually played a Spider putter before, and I'm really enjoying it. The insert, I got the cerulean insert, not the aluminium one, or aluminum, as you call it over here.
Yes, aluminum.
And the cerulean insert to me feels closer to it feels closer to a milled insert than something that's clicky. That's me. I don't know whether that's real or not. It feels softer. But I'm enjoying it. I'm playing it at a 36 length. I've moved to claw grip. Claw grip feels good. I'm really happy with where my game is right now.
Nice. I gotta say, the QI35 LS, like watching you hit it in Carlsbad was awesome.
Yep.
Then we were doing a little bit of tinkering internally here at the True Spec Scottsdale studio, and the numbers that we were seeing indoors when we were testing, I'm going, ooh, that is not what we saw in Carlsbad. Then the very next day,
we played.
You and I go play golf, and I mean, that thing was on autopilot for you. You hit it great. You're like, I'm going to hit a little fade. I'm going to hit a little draw. The control that you had with it was awesome. Ball flight was fantastic. And
height was great, hitting the height window that I wanted to hit.
Yeah, and I mean, the spin numbers were good too. And I mean, from what we saw in the bay versus what we saw on the golf course,
Night and
I mean,
day.
it was two totally different golf clubs. So, I mean, seeing that in real world versus just what we saw in the hitting bay was pretty eye-opening, to be honest with you. It was cool to see. You had great control, and I don't know if you missed a fairway.
I didn't miss a fairway when we played, and it's long too, and it's so forgiving, and I don't know, man. They're like, I love hitting in bays. I think hitting in bays is great when you want to understand numbers and all of that kind of stuff. But when you're hitting, and I kept turning to you that day going, this is not right.
Yeah, not what I see on the golf course.
Yeah,
not what I see on the golf course.
I'm trying to hit a draw right now, and I'm hitting a fade, and I don't know what is going on. And then when we got out, and I was like, I'm going to hit a draw, and I hit a beautiful draw, hit a little fade, whatever it is I need to hit. If I wanted to hit it higher, I could. I was like, and I turned to you, and I think after the third, I was like, this is what I'm seeing with this driver.
Yeah.
And so, bays are great if you're seeing what you're seeing on the outside to get your numbers. Sometimes you also need to maybe recalibrate the machine and all of that kind of stuff too.
Do we need to go back and revisit the parallax distortion conversation?
We do. We do need to revisit that mind fuck of a conversation. But
that video did pretty well, actually, when we had that little teaser up.
It did.
People are going, parallax, what the hell is this guy talking about?
What are you saying?
Is this even a thing?
Muppet. But no, it was really happy with where my game is at. I think the Cobra irons to me are in a bit. I feel so comfortable with those things in my hand. The C-Taper light shaft is so good.
Your bag's in a really good spot.
It's in a really good spot. Wedges, oh my gosh, those Vokey wedges that I got fit for while we were at TPI was, they're so good.
Lucas Bro,
the only area
working
of
his magic.
Yeah, he's awesome. We text every now and then. I kind of want to hang out with him more. He's a good dude. Like I just want to have a beer with him.
I knew you guys would click.
Yeah,
I was
we did.
Like, yeah, Wade, you got to work with Lucas. Like this is your guy.
Bring two sarcastic guys together that don't really care about much and just want to have a laugh, and it's a pretty good combination.
It was a win. Makes for good content too.
It does. But no, the bag feels good. The only area of my bag that's a question mark is driver is 80% done. I really do want to see what this 9-degree 440 head can do, but I'm pretty much in the QI35 LS.
Okay, that's fair.
Mini driver is staying there.
Okay.
I don't know which one yet. Right now it's the PXG.
Okay.
Right now it's the PXG mini driver.
Secret weapon.
The secret weapon is in
the bag. Okay.
And it's the club underneath there between my mini driver and the 4-iron.
Yep.
It's either right now it's a driving iron or my UW. And after that Carlsbad trip, my mind is just spinning because I was hitting the hybrid so well. And then putter. Putter is always a revolving door with me because I'm a mental midget and I that's what I do.
That's fair. Maybe that spider will answer all of your questions.
I hope so, because I want to stick to one thing for at least a year and see what I can do. I get envious of people that go, this is my putter.
Okay. I mean, even Jordan Spieth mixed it up.
I know, we spoke about it last week. Like,
Yeah,
he mixed it up, but he hadn't mixed it up for 20 million years. Like,
This
that
is
was
true.
the putter he's been playing since he was 16 or something, right?
It's something crazy.
Right.
Yeah. It had been a hot minute since he had made a putter change.
But speaking of changes, so Ludwig von Liechtenstein, I know it's not his name, but that's every time I say it, I just think of Ulrich von Liechtenstein. But Ludwig won over the weekend, and he made a change over the weekend.
This was so cool as a gear nerd.
So what did he do? He went from the GT2 to the TSR2.
Yeah, made driver change between Saturday and Sunday. And I would say, judging by the result, the come from behind W, that's a hell of a change.
It's going to be interesting to see what's in the bag this week. Is it the GT or the TSR? Do you know why he made that change? Was he just like, I just feel more comfortable with the TSR?
I'm assuming that there's probably So I mean, when I had done my testing between TSR and GT, like, I thought it was a little bit more draw bias in the TSR2, and the GT2 was a little bit more neutral as far as the start direction and what the ball wanted to do downrange. So I'm kind of wondering if he saw a start line or just a window or a movement downrange that just wasn't suiting his eye, particularly on Saturday, or if there was a different like change in where wind was coming and there was a particular hole or two out on the golf course that he just wanted to see more of a draw ball flight or just had more confidence in TSR2. There's so many variables. I don't know.
It worked.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, GT2, TSR2, the testing that I have done and working with true spec fitters and player testers and just my own independent testing, I mean, there was definitely a difference between bias on start line between those two clubs.
Got it.
And GT2 was a lot more neutral for the majority of testers as far as just where it started and how much movement was downrange compared to TSR2 that wanted to move right to left a little bit for that right-handed player.
Yeah.
And I definitely found TSR2 easier to turn over and hit a draw with than GT2, which is a lot more just neutral for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I also saw the TSR2 was really, really good on that low face heel shot. GT2 is really solid, but I mean, TSR2 was like unbeatable on that particular miss on the face. So I have no idea where he misses it or if that's even on his radar, because I mean, those guys don't miss much. So I would assume that it probably had to do with just either weather conditions or he wanted to be able to move the ball right to left a little bit on a few holes out there. Guessing.
I feel like Ludwig has been built out of a lab.
It's entirely possible.
Like he if you turned around and said like he's Ivan Drago's son,
Wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like that dude is just such a machine. I'm surprised he's only won twice, right?
So far.
On the PGA Tour, not
Yes.
including the World Tour and all of that. I'm very surprised. Like I feel like this guy is 1 or 2 wins away from being able to do what Scheffler's been doing.
Just breakout.
Just dominance. His game is so solid.
Very solid.
His swing is so nice. Every time he's winning on a Saturday and going into a Sunday, you automatically go, he's going to win. And he doesn't, obviously, because he's only won twice. I think both of his wins have been from comebacks as well, if I remember correctly. They've been from come behinds. So. But I've just got this. When you watch his game, there's something about it. Like he reminds me of when I first watched Roger Federer. Ooh. When he was like 18, 19 years old at the Hopman Cup before the Australian Open. I was like, this guy
saying a lot.
No, I'm not saying he's going to be that great, but I was like, I watch him and I'm like Federer was losing 1 and 2. Like he was getting his ass handed to him. But I was like, that guy's game is incredible. He just hasn't got it in between the ears yet.
That's fair.
And then, but with Ludwig, his game is so good. He just looks like he's ready to just start rolling. Same thing with Scheffler. If you think about it, Scheffler always had the game. He was always there, and then he won in Arizona, And then it just kept rolling and rolling and rolling.
I think we talked about that. Like once he had that aha moment that he didn't have to be perfect to win.
Right.
It was just like, I can hit it okay and still win. And I mean, that just, the floodgates opened, and he's been a world beater ever since.
On a tear.
Yeah, to say the least.
Right. I mean, he hasn't started the year off that well yet, but
He's
still
coming back off an
from
injury too.
His hand issue from when he cut himself. But yeah, I don't know. I just, there's something about Ludvig that I'm just expecting him to win two majors in the next year or two.
I could see that. I mean, for sure. And we were talking before we jumped on camera or on air here about putters.
Yeah.
And you had made kind of an interesting comment that from Odyssey's perspective, that Microhinge insert was your favorite.
My favorite out of all of them. Every time I rolled an Odyssey putter with a Microhinge, I always wanted to put in the bag.
And I know they had some great designs with that, and we've seen a lot of players have success with it over the years. And the
last two PGA Tour winners have been Microhinge.
And that's kind of an interesting sidebar there too. The last two, coincidentally, been on the West Coast. And I mean, it is tight and it is fast out here. And so maybe that particular face just happens to match up well with the turf conditions that we have. Who knows? But yeah, at retail, it was not their most popular face. And the Microhinge insert itself, it didn't last super long compared to how long we've seen the White Hot come and go and come and go and come and go. And now it's just a staple, and everybody loves White Hot. Oh, yeah, I wonder if now that there's been a little success, kind of like what we saw with Jailbird, it's like, hey, all of a sudden, if there's a little bit of traction.
So the original Jailbird that came out, the one that Ricky and what have you came out with, had the Microhinge on it. The original Jailbird that they were playing with had the Microhinge. Right? I think they're still, they've all moved on. I think Ricky's using Lab now. But like, that had Microhinge on as well. The new ones that came out all had the white hot face in it, the AI white hot face.
Yep. And now they have the AI milled Jailbird that has the aluminium.
Aluminum.
Yeah,
aluminium.
Yeah, aluminium.
Aluminium.
Yeah, face. But yeah, it kind of begs the question: if you see continued success and these guys winning with Microhinge, does Odyssey pivot and reintroduce a new latest and greatest version of Microhinge?
I hope so. That'd be fantastic, because I think I think with the success that TaylorMade is seeing with the pure roll, right? I always call it true roll, and I know that's wrong.
Pure roll.
With the pure roll, that's what it really reminded me of when I used to roll those necks side by side with each other. And once again, I'm playing one of the TaylorMade putters now, the Spider, and I'm thoroughly enjoying that insert. And usually I'm more of a milled guy than an insert guy.
And it's a different tech, it's a different approach, but I mean, obviously trying to achieve the same objective by getting the ball into
faster.
Forward roll as fast as possible, reducing skid.
Well, the interesting thing is, I'll go back to the Carlsbad trip, and it was good because we used Quintic at Odyssey and we used Quintic at TaylorMade when we were there. I think I was 4 degrees up on the ball at Odyssey with everything at standard. I think it was a 70 and a 3 or something like that.
Okay.
With loft and lie. And then at TaylorMade, with a 70 and 3, I was at 3.8, and I was at 2.5 at TaylorMade, because the pure roll got it to roll faster for me.
Okay. I mean, the
face made the ball spin faster, which in turn made it go into the ground faster, which made
less skid, more forward
skid,
roll,
all of that stuff, which I found very interesting.
That TaylorMade insert, they've done some independent tests, and there's been some other entities out there that have done testing where they've just taken the insert and put it on different putters and watched the roll improve.
Right.
Across basically everything that they tested it in. So, I mean, there's some legitimacy to that face tech for sure.
Right. And I'm not like, and I think even wasn't Scotty Burns playing before AI came out? Wasn't Scotty Burns playing a Microhinge putter before he changed over? And he was one of the best putters in the world, and that's kind of gone a little bit very airy.
It's entirely possible. I don't know that one. I
So-
might need a fact check, Mark. He's on it. He's on the fact check.
I'm putting you to work today, Mark.
I don't know how to spell that. Jeez.
Microhinge or being a fact checker?
Yes.
The player.
Scott Burns.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said something else.
That's my accent. Scott Burns.
That was a hell of a job. I understood that. That was good. And while Mark is fact checking us there, and we also have to give a shout out, Ping,
Yep.
G440 winning literally everywhere else on every other tour, and that
It's such a good product.
the 440 line has been really, really good. Our new member to the team, Johnny Wonder, was posting about his experience out at the Proving Grounds when we all went out there for the Waste Management Week, and he ended up getting himself a 440 LST and was doing some testing with it, and he hasn't been able to obviously game anything other than a Callaway product for the last few years, and was really, really impressed with. He kept mentioning stability. It's fast. It's stable. It's fast. It's stable. And I mean, that's what these players keep seeing with 440 product. And I mean, the continued success that they have with that platform, and it's not going anywhere. It just keeps winning. And I mean, I'm excited to put.
That's what Ping does.
They just keep winning.
They just keep winning, and they're silent winners. Have you noticed that? They're very silent winners.
I don't know if I would say that they're not. Maybe they're not as over the top celebratory as some of the other OEMs.
That's what I'm saying. Like when Victor Hovland was going off a couple of years ago, you know what I mean? Like they're just a silent killer. Where whenever, like I think when Callaway wins, when TaylorMade wins, they're just letting you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being Ricky Bobby.
So is it Ricky Bobby?
Let's wake up in the morning. We piss excellence.
Is that the marketing machine?
I don't know if it's a marketing machine. I don't know if it's the kind of players that they sign. But what I'm saying is, like, when you came in and you were like, we were talking about how, you know, Ludvig won on the weekend, blah, blah, blah. We were talking about how Odyssey's won 2 weeks in a row, all of that kind of stuff. And then you're like, yeah, and 440's won every other competition out there.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
But you don't see it. You know, like Lab just released that I think they turned around and said they won on 5 tours last week, one of their races. But like people are, you know, yelling it from the rooftops. I don't think Ping does. And we don't need to get into it. All I'm saying is I feel like they're like a silent killer out there.
So as a media entity, we need to do a better job at telling people how good Ping does.
I think so.
Everywhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, they have great success.
Great successes.
On the PGA Tour as well. But
They do.
They had best fairway wood on every tour.
Mm-hmm.
And driver was really solid. They launched 440. They improved on an already really good design. And now they are seeing success with it everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. And they don't pay as many people as some of the other big marketing-driven OEMs that are out there. So to see independent players that are on contract put 440 in the bag and see success with it, super cool.
Yeah.
Tells you how good the product is.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. And, I mean, going back into...
And I say that I don't have any of it in my bag right now. But I do think it's fantastic. That's why I want you to really hear from that conversation. I don't have any of my bag, but we're talking about how good it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be good for a lot of people out there, and people should be making sure that they're putting everything to the test when they want to try it.
I've got 440 fairway woods being built right now that I'm really excited. I went over with Johnny and with Jack while he was in town for Waste Management, and
Jackie boy.
And hung out with our friends at the Proving Ground, and Pete took care of us and worked with our buddy James, and
James is so awesome.
James is a man. It's great. But did some testing. I was trying to find. I have been on this 3-wood quest for years, trying to find something to replace a 3-wood that I absolutely loved, and I cracked the face, and it was like somebody kicked my dog. I was so upset. Went back, tried 3 other heads of the same model, and just never got the same results. So I went over with a specific mission to test 440 fairway woods because I know how good they are. I see the success, and I'm going, there's got to be something here. They launch higher and spin more than most of the other companies that are out there, which for me is awesome. The fact that I can flatten it out and expose the face to be a little bit more right bias for me is a great thing, and get the start direction a little more right because I missed that low left kind of toe shot. And they reintroduced the 4-wood this year. So 4-wood's going in the bag. And then I found the first real rival to the Heavenwood in the 447 wood.
Nice.
So got that in the works as well. So want to do some testing with that. Still waiting on the GT1 from Titleist, which was also going to be a Heavenwood contender.
You really liked that when we were at TPI.
Yeah, it's got a bigger footprint, kind of like the Heavenwood does, which I like. But higher loft package, closer to that 20, 21 degree mark.
But that really surprised you when we were there, which is kind of cool. That's why I can't wait for you to get it and put it in the bag, or give it a go in the bag.
It was really cool. I was pretty stoked on it. So whenever that GT1 shows up, I want to go and hit everything side by side and figure out, like, okay, I'm super comfortable with the Heavenwood. Does 447 wood or GT1 7 wood compare to what I'm seeing out of Heavenwood?
Yeah, nice.
So.
And then TaylorMade has finished the P series. They launched the 790. That's 100% released now. So 7CB, 770, now the 790 to finish the collection off in the P series.
Yep. 790 has been a workhorse for TaylorMade since Gen 1. And now here we are. And this new 790, we did some testing with it. We've got a video that went live yesterday.
Sam, right?
With
hit the crap out of it, didn't he?
Oh, Sammy can hit the crap out of anything, and we actually have to rein him in to make it a little more relatable on the videos.
Yeah.
And for Sammy, that's just, he's cruising 162, 163 miles an hour of ball speed with driver, which is me herniating myself and feeling like everything in my back is going to explode swinging that fast. And for Sammy, that's like warm-up swings. And like watching him hit 790 and hitting consistently a 200-yard 6-iron with virtually no effort, we hit the 2025 model versus the 2023 model. And we were doing some testing with it side by side. And the way that they've kind of approached, Matt Bovey has done a great job with the iron development and kind of creating the separation into these different categories with the P series irons. And I mean, even the QI iron's fantastic, but the 790, each iron is individually engineered to do something different. So where they put the tungsten, where they relocate the CG, the materials that they make, the aesthetics of it, the acoustics of it, how much of the, just all of the technology that they pack into these things, super, super impressive.
Yeah.
And the fact that they think about each iron independently to make sure that the launch windows stay consistent. And then when you transition into like that 8-9 wedge, you lose the speed foam, you lose the speed pocket, and it becomes more of a traditional type of iron in the scoring zone. So you don't get the jumpers and the hot spots. It's just a really cool design.
It is a cool design. But yes, that's come out. We've been selling a bunch of those on Fairway Jockey already. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. So
a lot of good stuff.
Either way. But yeah, so that's it for this week in regards to what we're seeing, what we're doing, what we're laughing about in the golf world. And what we're laughing about is we had a good laugh last night about Tiger Woods being 199 out and hitting his wedge 99 yards. But
TGL this week, yeah, that is the highlight reel, right? I mean, you have arguably one of the best ball strikers with irons like ever, and somebody that is just an absolute magician with a wedge in his hand. And how far we got? 99. And that's what he heard, 99. I mean, completely oblivious of the fact that it was 199, hits the most confident 56-degree wedge.
And absolutely hits it 99 yards.
and the reaction was fantastic. I mean, you just see the ball just fly perfectly through the air, beautifully struck wedge, and 100 yards short. And for that to happen to Tiger, what do you do? I mean, there was even a comment made like, it looks like he's got wedge in his hand.
Yeah.
And then he goes and he pulls the trigger. Nobody calls him off of it. You and I were talking like, I mean, as a teammate, or
I'd be like, time out, dude. You're 199, not 99. Put the 56 away.
yeah, hey Tiger, you hitting a wedge 199 there, boss?
Old man, you pulled the wrong club.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would have been able to go, hey, hitting wedge here. Yeah, I don't know if I would have been able to call him off that shot.
I feel like if it was the tour, you can't. But in that kind of a scenario, that kind of a setting where it's TGL and it's like they're all having fun and laughing and getting the clubs out. Like, I mean, you can totally do it.
And the fact that he hit it so confidently.
Yeah.
And you and I've played a ton of sim golf. I mean, depth perception is definitely sketchy,
right,
to say the least. However, this is a screen that is
the size of a house.
I mean, massive. And you would think that if you have played a significant amount of sim golf, which I can only assume that Tiger has, I don't know, maybe gamed a few rounds in a simulator environment, that you would be able to say, that looks a little further than 99.
Right.
And especially somebody as seasoned as Tiger Woods.
I have a feeling it says it up in the left-hand corner as well.
I mean, that even makes it more entertaining.
Right.
But all things considered,
I'm not being rude, by the way. I'm trying to research whether Scotty Burns used a micro hinge or not. Did you find that, Mark, or no?
Oh, we're going back. Timeout on.
I can't find anything about Scott Burns and a putter in general.
You keep talking. Let me search. Let me see if I can be a fact checker for myself.
Oh no, we just have to pause. I'm not going to ramble
keep
anymore.
talking, man. I can talk.
Are we talking Sam Burns?
Oh yeah, you're right. Sam Burns.
Oh shit.
That's also why, because
Sam Burns changed the AI1 putter at last year's Tour Championship and has not gone back.
right, but was
She was in a microhinge for 6 years before.
there? You go. He was in a micro hinge for 6 years.
Sam Burns.
So I was right about the micro hinge. I was wrong about the name.
Samsonite. I was way off.
Samsonite.
Yeah, that's why I'm like looking at this and I'm like, do I chime in or is there a
Oh,
Scott
you
Burns?
chime in whenever you want, mate. I am totally fine making an idiot of myself because I doubled down and went Scott Burns.
Well, that I wasn't going to correct you on it because there's so many names now on the PGA Tour that I
we're
have
good,
never
guys.
heard of.
I like dickhead moment of the week goes to me.
It's you and Tiger. It's a coin flip.
I'd probably go with me over Tiger because I just completely butchered someone's name. Although Scott and Sam, whatever, it's fine.
I'm telling Sam Burns.
That's what you tell him.
I'm gonna tell him.
But that is
tell him.
the 100% biggest Samsonite moment of my life.
I think we just roll with that. I think that needs to stay in there, and
Oh, don't pull it out.
we just live
Don't pull
with
it out. It's
Scott
like,
Burns,
it's like
Sam Burns.
It's like when I was at the launch of the AI putter and we were trying to Texas wedge it from the tee box and I topped it and they made a tops card for me.
It was pretty awesome.
There is a scottburns.com and that guy might just get more hits today than he ever has in his life.
Yeah, everybody wants to know who.
ScottBurns.com, you are very welcome.
Yeah, Scott Burns,
I'll
you
take my
are
10%
welcome.
of nothing.
Sam Burns, formal apology.
Sam Burns, I apologize for nothing because you probably wouldn't be able to pronounce my name.
Wadeh.
That's right. Pass me a glass of water.
Wadeh. Yeah, just a smooth.
On that note,
We're
fun
off the-
show.
We're off the rails.
Good way to end
We got
it.
to wrap it up.
Can you give everyone our socials?
Absolutely. Over on X, we are at fully_equipped. On Instagram, we are fully equipped golf. And Jack has been just railing the socials with all kinds of content coming out of tour. And now that we have Johnny on board, I mean, the behind the ropes is only going to get better from an experiential point.
Yep.
And I'm going to be heading down to Florida, going to the Cognizant, and then heading to Arnold Palmer Invitational. If there's anything you guys specifically want me to check out, absolutely drop it in the comment section. And with that, Wade, if they want to call and leave us a voicemail or provide some commentary, who do they got to call?
They got to call Ghostbusters at 480-442-1168. So the hotline bling, 442-1168.
Beautiful. And with that, we will see you next week.
Peace.